Carl and Damon here from Games, Brains and Headbanging Life, gbhblofficial.com for sure. And it's Video Game Catch Up, where we just talk about some of the games we've been playing recently, talk about some of the things we've been enjoying, things we haven't, achievements, you name it, aspects like that. Something we're going to try and do a bit more regularly every couple of weeks when we do our recording sessions. We'll chuck one of these in. The date is Thursday the 9th of May. So, yeah, what have you been playing?
Well, after completing Fallout 3, I didn't want to jump straight back into Fallout New Vegas for the next one for me, because it was a big game and I needed a little break, so I literally played a lot of little small games, about 2 or 3 hours worth, and I've completed about 9 games since then. But I found a really, really cool game on Game Pass. It was called Botany Manor.
Botany Manor, I downloaded it. Yeah, I haven't started it yet.
If you want a beautiful, relaxing game, it is absolutely perfect. Literally, it's a very easy game.
Yep.
Easy completion. You know, am I allowed to give shouts out to people?
Shouts?
Yeah, like the YouTubers who.
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, Macca Productions and the Welsh Dragon. Great guides on his games. Absolutely brilliant. I followed their video. You know, just a relaxing. Yeah, just a relaxing game and growing plants in your garden.
I downloaded it, haven't touched it yet, not really had the time, because I kind of got stuck on Fallout 4. So obviously last video I was cleaning up Fallout 4. Well, I have now cleaned it up entirely, including doing all the DLC packs. 6 DLC packs overall that I'm going to run you through my thoughts on each particular one as well, because this is obviously areas you haven't touched yet.
Not yet.
So I can give you a little bit of insight into what you can expect. So, you know, main game, I did the Brotherhood of Steel stuff. I found 20 bobbleheads, and the last thing I needed for that, achievement-wise, was the level 50. I was about level 36 when I finished the main game and started the first DLC, and I was like, well, okay, I will reach level 50 in the DLCs, which I did, so there was no question there. I didn't have to go out of my way to do anything. Just played through all the DLCs. So of the DLCs, of course, there are effectively 3 story-based ones and 3 kind of pack ones where it's related to building and aspects like that from the Fallout game. Because Fallout 4, I can't remember if Fallout 3 had anything like that. I don't think it does. But no. Fallout 4 has about settlers and building up settlements and things like that, which you can do. Some of that stuff is downright infuriating because of supplies. Because obviously you're probably like me. You sell everything. You pick up junk and all that.
Yeah.
In Fallout 4, maybe start storing that stuff up. Maybe start putting that away in some places, just because you will need it. Don't get me wrong. You're never short on finding that stuff. Yeah. Because in builder mode, you can basically scrap just about everything and so on. But some of it, there was achievements related that can be quite complex. Not difficult, just complex. More than anything else. But I don't want to focus on that stuff. It is easy enough to do. I want to focus on the 3 story DLCs. The Nuka World one, which is where you leave, obviously, the Commonwealth, which is the main area of Fallout 4, and go to the Nuka World area, which is like a theme park, if you want, based around Nuka-Cola, with different areas, like different themed areas, and with gangs and stuff like that. It's probably the biggest one of them, not on location-wise, but I mean via quests and what's available to do there. But for me, it's also the worst one, because I just found it really, really frustrating to navigate. It is a very complex, big open area with lots and lots of big warehouses and elements to explore and things like that. The quest lines are fun. I do like the idea of having to balance the raid of different gangs and stuff like that. And some of the areas are quite imaginative. New levels of bad guys, new different enemy types and stuff like that. And the sort of Nuka, how you use Nuka-Cola in that area and what it brings to the main game, where it gives you different abilities and you can mix them and all of that, was fun. Achievement-wise, it has some downright irritating ones. Stuff, again, that's easy, you know, pick up X amount of these books so that you can mix these different types of colas and all that. But the one, and it ended up being the last achievement from the entire game I needed, because it was so monotonous and long-winded that I decided to leave it to the very end and just come back to it, is the pick up 100,000 Nuka-Cade tickets. It's an arcade. Anyway, Nuka-Cade tickets you get from playing games. You can also pick them up in and around the world, but by the time I'd finished the majority of that DLC, I had about 6,000. That was it. So you go to this arcade, and there are a number of different machines you can play to win these tickets. Now, obviously online, people have found exploits and ways to make it a lot quicker. One of them is so complex I decided not to do. Instead, I stuck with the more simple, lengthier. It took me about an hour and a half over time. That's what I was doing while I was watching Knuckles.
There you go.
And all you use is, there's a weapon in that area called the Thirst Zapper. It shoots water. It's useless at against everything but this game because it's got infinite ammo. You start up this bandage, like like things going across and you shoot them.
Yeah.
You start that up, jump over the counter, go stand right in front of it, and and each time you'd get between 800 and 1200 tickets.
Okay. Yeah.
You can see, and then you think about 10 times, you've got 10,000.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad, but it's just like, that's so boring and unimaginative, guys. Come on, because none of the other games as well will give you the level that does.
Yeah.
So there's no encouragement to go do varied stuff. Like I said, there's a trick to like using the basketball hoop and building stuff and all that. But you know what? I just couldn't be bothered to go to the level of what it needed to be done, so I decided not to do that. Right. So I'm not too hot on the Nuka World DLC. It is good and it is substantial. So there is that. I'm going to leave Far Harbor to last, but then the other one, Automatron, that's basically, it's story-based, but it's not. It's basically just some extra quests within the Commonwealth surrounding this robot and stuff like that. So it's not like you're going somewhere new or anything like that.
Yep.
It is quite cool and it's a good little story, and it probably takes about an hour overall because the last area is quite big, and I did quite like that. I actually found myself quite enjoying that because as well, I actually died a few times for the first time in ages, and it was the last of the big packs I did, so I was like level 55, 56, and I was still being challenged, and I was like, that was kind of cool. So I think that's pretty good. Far Harbor, you leave on a boat, leave the Commonwealth and go to this island. It's got this mist environment that has rads in it. It's a small island, but with lots of different locations, different style of bad guys, different enemy types, and really, really interesting and fun quest lines, including like, you won't know them, but Children of the Atom is a faction in Fallout 4. They're obsessed with...
Yeah, they're in Fallout 3.
Alright, so they're in Fallout 3. So they play a bigger part in Fallout 4. But in Far Harbor, they play a big part. And like... They're living on a nuclear submarine. You can launch a nuke if you want at the end. Now, it does have, for achievement hunters, warning, quest lines that can be missed. So there is a make smart saves at certain points. But that's Fallout full stop. It is what they do. It drives me nuts. But that aspect, I really, really loved Far Harbor. Like, I enjoyed it so much that it was one of those where I was like, I'm just going to go and find things rather than just follow the quest line and do these and do elements like that. I really, really enjoyed it. Aside from the broken quest line system where, I've been locked out of this quest line because I did this thing and stuff like that. Aside from that, all the achievements are really clever as well and easy to do. Far Harbor is my recommendation. Of all the DLCs on Fallout 4, I enjoyed it. It was Far Harbor the most. They're all pretty good. I do think the building ones are a little bit, just because it's like, one of them was like, build 15 different cages. You can cage animals in it. The amount of material you need for them is just made it fucking laborious more than anything else. The same with the tame 5 animals. It's easy to do thanks to because it's been out for so long, people have got clever guides that make it really simple and stuff like that. But it's just like, is this it? And that kind of thing, elements like that. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. And that's me done with Fallout 4. That's me done. I did briefly, because I enjoyed it so much, I was like, ooh, have a look at Fallout 76, and maybe you might be interested. I'm not. I looked at it and went, you know what, I'm not. I did Fallout 4 because I watched the show and it made me want to get back into the world, and I'd also never completed it 100%. I've now 100%ed it. I'm moving on, basically. The next Fallout game I play will be whatever new Fallout comes in the future. Yeah. Go on, what you got next?
So again on Game Pass, this was it's called Genesis Noir.
Okay.
Yeah, what an absolutely horrible game.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very easy completion, 3 hours for 1,210 gamer score, but it's just such a weird game. It's like just weird colours and just like some weird characters. And again, if it wasn't for a great guide on YouTube, I would have never touched it, but. If you want for gamer score, easy completion, something to relax your brain for a couple of hours, that's the sort of game you play, But I personally wouldn't recommend it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Don't know it. You've got a few, because I've only got like one or two more. I haven't done as much as you this time round.
Okay. Another surprised me good game was a game called Totem.
Totem.
Again, it's on Game Pass, easy completion, but it's I don't know. I describe it as sort of like. If you've ever played Pokemon on the Game Boy, like Pokemon Yellow, Red, it's that sort of style there. It's like drawn and coloured by the creator that's actually on the screen. It's you control a little character going around taking pictures of animals and doing little quests over like four different towns. Surprisingly, quite relaxing and enjoyable game.
Okay, I'll look out for that. Sounds fun.
Another very easy one. It's called Open Road. 1,000 gamer score, 30 minutes.
I think I might. No, I don't know if I played it, but I think I've looked at Open Road. I've played a few similar games like Aurelia's Wheels and things like that.
It's just basically it's sort of like the Walking Dead game. It's just pure dialogue.
It's a what do you call it? A narrative game.
You might have to do the odd time. You might have to like walk around and pick up an item or two, but it's so straightforward. 30 minutes.
30 minutes, that quick, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll both do this one. Vampire Survivors, new DLC. Laboratory really was the major thing in this. You know Vampire Survivors by now. Good God, there's like 211 achievements overall. Similar kind of vibe. Go there, survive 20 minutes, unlock this item. That's about it, really. It is as fun as always. I will never get bored of Vampire Survivors. No. Now, the moment new DLC comes up, I'm just like, sweet, carry on. Queen Sigma, here I come.
And it was free too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course it was free as well. But yeah, immediately I'm like, right, load up Queen Sigma, always Queen Sigma, and just go to frickin' town. Right, actually, stop. Do you have a specific, talk about Vampire Survivors overall, I want to know, do you have a specific weapon set or style that you like to do with your character?
Yeah.
Tell me what particular weapons you like to get.
Well, I'm not going to remember the names of the weapons, but it's so the main ones I stick to. It's the water one, which has the water bottle.
Oh, Santa Maria.
Yeah,
that drops. And when it's super powerful when it's fully evolved.
I have I don't know what it's called, the Bible.
King Bible.
Yeah, King Bible. Yes, I have that one there. I'll also go with what's the one's called? It's the one with it's the manor. I think it's called a manor. It's the one with it's like a scroll, and it shoots up and down at us.
Oh right, it's like bubbles. No, that's like flowers. No, that's something else. That's Jubilee, I think.
Yeah, it's a scroll. It is, but I said they're the main three that I'll concentrate on, and then obviously your basic like extra life, your armor.
Oh yeah. That's sort of the additions, particularly depending upon what item weapons you've got. You want to evolve. One of them I always use as well. I always use King Bible. I'm always looking out for that because when that is fully evolved and it's red, it's brilliant alongside that. But I also tend to use both whips. I can't remember what they're called, but the brown and the blue one. Yep. They offer two different things, but when combined, they are beasts. Beasts, absolutely. And I also don't mind, although it doesn't, I won't always get my way to get it. I do like the axes as well. But yeah, elements like a tractor orb and the experience leveling up ones, I try and get as quickly as possible as well. But it's Vampire Survivors. Hope they're not done. Can't imagine they will. Because it's not the sort of game that gets a sequel. No. Do you know what I mean? Because it would just be the same thing again. So I guess just keep putting content on there, paid, free, and whatever, you know. I'm
happy to pay the $2.99 for it. Yeah, it's a very enjoyable game.
Yeah, it's worth the money each and every single time. Yeah. I'm just going to mention this one quickly as well because it was so simple. Broken Mind. This is a first-person shooter/adventure game I played a few years ago. Cel-shaded, murder mystery, horror aspects, pretty simple completion as Worldview and Achievement Hunter with a pretty good story and a well done game. Randomly, I noticed, it's got new achievements. That's weird. Basically, it had a title update, which added 5 achievements. Here's the thing, right? You're like, well, okay, that's cool. And I was like, I'll go back and play it. Didn't have to. The moment I loaded it up, those 5 achievements were things that you do during the game. They're unmissable. Okay. So they're part and parcel of what you will do as you play the game. I loaded it up. Didn't even have to press continue or anything like that or new game. I loaded it up and went boom, 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 boom. 1,000 gamer score in like 20 seconds. And I was like, well, that was good. All right, back I go. Yeah. It just made me laugh. Yeah. I'm genuinely surprised. I guess, because it's a one-man studio and all that, but I was really surprised that you didn't have to play through it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Interesting, yeah. Again, it's another Game Pass game, easy completion, 3 hours or so, and it's a French game called Jassant.
Okay, Jassant. Yeah, this is the climbing one.
Yeah, do you know what? That's surprisingly a very, very good game.
Yeah, it's cool now. I've started it. I haven't got too far into it.
Yeah, nice. I mean, the elements, the climbing, the different abilities you learn. It's a very, very enjoyable, relaxing game. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Cool. I've got one more. So do you want to kind of catch up?
Yeah. So. Done that by dies. So again, Game Pass. It's the SpongeBob SquarePants.
Rehydrated.
Battle for Bikini Bottom.
That's the one.
You know, it's It's actually not a bad game. You know? So it's quite easy completion. There's loads of collectibles, which are a bit of a drag, but it's like 10 levels. Easy game to score. Yeah, it's a job that you complete within about 10 hours. Yeah, so
is that it?
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to talk about really. SpongeBob, you control a few characters.
No, I mean, is that it? Is that your last one?
Oh, sorry.
How many more you got?
1, 2, 3 more.
Okay, do 2 more.
So again, Game Pass is another game called Venba. So I think Game Pass, you're controlling like an Indian family who's just migrated, and it's mainly like a story-based game again, like
cool.
like the Walking Dead game. But you do like a bit of cooking for the game, and you got to cook the Indian food correctly.
Oh, cool.
It's got to be done with the
so it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, stuff like it's a pretty cool story, right? If you read the stories going through it, but again, it's a simple completion, 2-3 hours, no problem. Yeah, so. And then after that was another one I've done was called The Big Con. Again, it's a 15,000 game score, but it's a 4-hour game.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and literally just you're like a pickpocket going around stealing, to trying to raise money to save your mum's shop and stuff like that. Yeah, basic game. Yeah, easy.
All right, cool. I haven't played a lot of these, so I've got to keep an eye out for some of these, I think. But what I decided to do, because I basically, after Fallout 4, like or no doubt happens to you, I went, well, now what? And I was like, right, start something else, go back to something else, and I couldn't really decide what to do. So I tidied up Vampire Survivors, I did that Broken Mind stuff, and then I went, you know what, let me have a look at Dead Island 2's second DLC, which is Solar, which is supposedly set in a festival, on a sort of in a festival environment. Yeah. And I thought, well, that's funny. This could be. And I what encouraged me to play it was the simple fact that we're kind of reaching festival season in the UK. Yeah. Things are coming up. We have Slam Dunk at the end of this month. Beautiful weather at the moment in England, so it was like, well, this could be fun and stuff like that. And yeah, it is that. So I think I'm about 3/4 of the way through it now. I'm torn on this, right? I'm really torn on this because I love the environment. I really love the environment, right? First, there was a real actually, no, I'll start with this. I had a real problem when I first started it. I struggled to. Like, normally it takes a 5-10 minutes to kind of reacclimatize yourself to it. It took me longer. I was like 20 minutes in going, why don't I remember how to play this? Like, it was a real problem. We put a fair amount of time in the Dead Island 2, and House wasn't that long ago. No. So it was kind of like, what the hell's going on here? So, but eventually I got there and so on. I love the environment. I love the different festivals. It's basically... It's not it's not Bloodstock or Down or that. It's more Glastonbury than that, where it's like, here's a chiller peace area and elements like that, but it's got stages and it's really, really cool. I took a picture, a jokey picture. I'm going to show you my phone to sort of give you an idea. Like it's really, really cool environment. And I like the story about the musical beat turning people into zombies. And where I'm at now, it's gone quite cool looking visually. It's a visually impressive DLC. The problem is the quests are just a bit crap. They mount to, hello, you survivor. I will go there to try to stop the beat. And there's these orbs that pulsate. You kill zombies near them until they stop. And then you mop up the zombies. And then you go do that somewhere else. And you go do that somewhere else and so on, that kind of thing. What they've done, though, is I swear they've ramped the difficulty up. I have died more times in this DLC than at any other point in Dead Island 2, including the part I just did, which, if you know it, was where I had to rescue Grace at the main stage, and basically every fucking zombie is on fire. You've got the big lads with the fists, you've got the fat ones spitting at you, and of course you've got the new ones with the fucking whip intestines. They are horrible. And everything's on fire. I died about 10 times. 10 times there alone. That's how difficult it is. And there's a new enemy type, the ones that melt away and then come back, that are really fucking difficult. Really difficult. I really struggled with them.
I've not played it. It's on my list, but I said I will get to it at some point, yeah.
It does appear to be an easy completion. It looks like the majority are quest-based, and there's one, I think, related to a weapon. 2 weapons, one of which you buy in the store, no problem, and then kill X amount of zombies. Only like 5, but it's how you do it. And then there's another that you apparently get when you complete the quest line, so no issues in that. And there's one that's a secret one. I've looked at it, says clean up like the massive caustic spill in a certain area. And all right, fair enough. So it looks fairly straightforward. So I'm torn on this one. I really like Dead Island 2. I think it's a good game.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed playing it with you in co-op. I enjoyed House, and I'm enjoying this. I did think about, should we do this co-op? But truth be told, similar to House, it just doesn't have enough content to really warrant it. And because basically location-wise, it's huge. A lot of it I'm just running back and forth. There's not a lot of exploration. Because there aren't what it's lacking is side quests. There's one survivor. And that's it. So she gives you the main quests, and that's it. Everything else is zombies or fuses areas or safes and zombies and more and all of that, and that's all you're really doing. You know. So I'm torn in it. It is DLC, so I'm not like angry at it, but it was a little pricey. It was about I think it was a little bit down in Game Pass, so about £11, but that felt a little pricey. You know, for it. But I know, like, obviously, this might be it, because I think the season pass that came with Dead Island 2 said it would be 2 story DLCs.
Okay,
That's House and this. So, yeah. Oh, and it's got this weird point I did this morning before we started recording. I had a quest that sent me back to one of the in the DLC, that sent me back to one of the areas, right? In the main game. And I thought, well, that's interesting, so they've combined it. I went back to the main area. All it was go to the shop, talk to that computer, and that was it. And then I had to go back to the festival. I was like, well, it was pointless, wasn't it?
Waste of time.
Like, what waste of time. I always felt like dragging it out, you know? I don't know. Not completely sold in it, but do love the environment. Like, I do think that's what you'll be impressed with. House looked cool, but it was inside. This is outside, and it's bright blue skies.
Even during our playthrough, we always loved the area, and the graphics was amazing.
It looks amazing. It does still. And like, just as a person that's been to loads of festivals, like, running into being like, oh, this is the food area, and look, this is where, like, you go to, like, the area which is basically the VIP backstage area and elements like that. I don't know. It's cool. Right, you got one more.
One more. What was it? I was going to do this one, but I'm actually going to skip this one and go to another one. So obviously I've completed Fallout 3.
Yep.
Obviously after playing all these games here, I then decided to start New Vegas.
You did?
Probably about 70% for it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I'm 32 hours into it. Yeah. So, and I'm going to be honest, I don't enjoy it as much as number 3. I said I think overall the gameplay is better, but it has there's so many achievements which are like, really, I don't like the whole 10,000 hit points with this gun, 10,000 hit points with this gun. That's just so basic, and or for me the worst one a lot is you got to get 10,000 health points with food. It's like, come on, man. So the food gives you like 1 health point. So I'm literally just going around to every damn town, buying all the food, a great garden on true achievements. Just drown yourself, use the food. Drown yourself, it's just so tedious.
Yeah, unimaginative achievements.
Yeah, but overall, it definitely an improvement from number 3. But I don't know. It took me about maybe 10 hours into that game to actually start enjoying it. I don't know why I was. I don't know. It's because of the fact that maybe I went straight into.
You've nailed it there. I think that likely is the problem. What you're saying is a bit a bit like heresy, to be honest, because Fallout New Vegas is spectacular. The problem is that you didn't follow what a lot of us did back in the day. You didn't wait however long New Vegas, it was a year or 2 maybe until it came out. Do you know what I mean? It was fresh then. I agree with you saying I'm not a big fan sometimes of the unimaginative achievements that come with that kind of thing. And while that ain't the be-all and end-all of it, it is ultimately an aspect of the game where you can feel that completion ticking up and so on, and aspects like that. So that's why we talk about them here. But yeah, going from Fallout 3 straight into New Vegas, the biggest issue is that it's not a massive jump up. It's like, why? I warn you now, I'm telling you, do not jump straight to Fallout 4.
No, I'm just taking a break from it.
Have a little patience. Come back to it 6 months down the line and refresh Fallout, because Fallout 4, put it this way, considering this was my second time around with all the DLCs, how many hours do you think I've sunk into it? Bear in mind, it's my second time around. I rushed the main game just to do the Brotherhood of Steel thing, and then did all the DLC.
I'm going to go over the top. I'm going to say about 80 plus.
Not that much, but you're not too far off. About 65 hours.
Yeah, so
you see what I mean? And that's me pushing, going, right, particularly the main game, just doing the quests that I needed to do to progress it, and then focusing on the Brotherhood of Steel, and then doing all the DLC. See what I mean?
I said, obviously, I watch a lot, I read a lot of guides and stuff like that, but I hate a game where this sort of game here, I'm going to say it forces me to have to read up in this game first, because I'm not going to be putting 60 hours into this game and go, oh shit.
Just to redo it.
I've got to redo it again because I missed the Bravo Still part, or I've got to do it again because I missed the NPCs one.
Yeah, we've talked about this last time. I
Something.
massively disagree with these huge open world games putting in quest lines that can be missed. That's insane to me.
Yeah, so I spent the first hour before even playing for New Vegas reading a whole guide of, okay, make sure you do this. Make sure you do this.
Do saves here and stuff like that.
So I've got literally, I mean, my save is about 110 the amount of time I've saved.
You forget which one you actually bloody need.
I know.
But there you go. All right. Well, that's about it, really. I don't think there's anything new. I don't know what I'm going to play next. I haven't quite decided. I'm going to finish the Dead Island 2 DLC more than anything else. And I guess you'll finish Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
The next time we'll probably be able to finish talking about them and focus on something new. But for now, what have you been playing? What's your thoughts on what we've talked about here? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website, where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.